Oh, I see you. I've got a couple of people who have logged in already. The show is live. We're back here at the Fryar place where the conversations are fire. We're in the studio today. We have another great guest for you, but y'all come on in the room. Come on in the room. I see. You can't hide from me. I have a counter, a ticker right in front of me that shows how many people have logged on, and I don't know who it is, but you can't hide. So you got a couple of you who have logged on, who are watching right now, who are listening right now. Please throw in the comments who you are, so that we can shout out to you. We can say hi. We can show our appreciation for you being on with us, for you following us every week, for you being ready for this show, to make comments, to interact with our guests. Please don't forget to like us. Don't forget to share the Fryar Place, and don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And then also make comments. Make comments. That's why we're live, so we can interact with you. We go live every week. We don't necessarily tape our shows. I don't like that. I like the whole live experience, so that we're doing it in real time, so that you can ask questions of our guests. We have phenomenal guests on every week. We have real people, not just professional athletes, but we have people from all kinds of different venues and aspects and spaces in life, careers, all kinds of different people. We have a phenomenal person, real genuine person today. You might have seen her name in the post as we came on live, but that's all right. I'm going to introduce her after we go to commercial. But my mama is in the house. Mama, what's going on? You watching her today? She said, I'm not hiding. You're not hiding, Mom? Okay, you never did hide. But listen, we got to pay the bills, as you know we always do. So we'll be right back after this.
Are you planning a special trip or a night out? Don't bother with the hassle of driving, parking, and traffic. Just call Ed's Smooth Transport. One-way or round trips available. We will take you there, and we will also pick you up. Enjoy a night on the town with Ed's Smooth Transport. Call us 609-471-2653 or 609-314-6619. Visit our website to take advantage of our monthly specials at www.smooftransport.com. Ed's Smooth Transport, where experience meets comfort.
In Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, there's a slightly slower pace of living. That's also where you'll find the home of Stoltz Fish Structures, where quality, integrity, and world-class customer service are more than just a way to do business. It's a way of life. From our humble beginning over 40 years ago in a small building, to the modern 65,000 square foot facility of today, we've remained at the forefront of our industry. Everything from gazebos and sheds to garages and pergolas, and everything in between.
And everything in between. Stoltz Structures. Yep. Listen, I got a bunch of you who are watching right now, and you're hiding. My digital clock or counter says there's a bunch of you, and you're not saying hi. You're not counting. You're not logging in. You're not making a comment. Please say hi. Please say what's up. Say shut up or something. Just say something. All right. Listen, I'm not going to hold my guest any longer, respectful of her time. Met her a few months ago, down in Miami at a golf tournament with the Miami Dolphins, and walked in the room. I'm like, that person's important. I got to get her on the fireplace. She laughing. I did. That's what I said when she walked in the room. I'm like, whoa, she's somebody. I got to get her on the fireplace. That's what I told her too. John Waves, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. And guess what? Here we are a couple of months later, and she's here. So none other than my friend, Captain Elise Dillard, is in the house, y'all. Here she is, y'all. Hand clap, everybody. Yeah, she's in the house. 31 years in law enforcement and retired from the Miami-Dade Police Department. I want to say this before we start talking, before we start conversing. In June of 2015, she made history. The first African American female of the Miami-Dade Police Department to serve as a SWAT commander. Good God Almighty. in charge of SWAT. I knew something when I saw her walk in the room. I knew there was something real. Yeah. Well, she wasn't doing that. There was something real special about her. Billy Bell's in the house. What's going on? Billy Bell said respect. Yeah, you got to have some respect for her. So how you doing, Cap? What's going on?
I'm doing great, Doc. Pastor, doing just fine. Living the life down here in sunny South Florida. And,
okay.
Playing golf and still very active in law enforcement, things like that. So still giving back to my community.
Okay. Well, you can listen. You can forget all the formalities. You stop calling me Doc. Stop calling me Rev. Just call me Irving. Everybody, look. I'm on my show right now, so it's formal, but it's informal. You're the guest. You're the one we're going to put up on the pedestal. And Ravens Talk with Yolanda is in the house. What's going on? She says hello, everyone. That's the name of her. I guess, I don't know, Raven, do you have a podcast? I guess you do, but she says Ravens Talk with Yolanda. Listen, Yolanda, I can't talk Ravens, but I will talk Eagles. And, the Ravens play the Eagles this year, so we need to hook up and have a conversation that week, all right? So, listen, Elise, you were a commander, I don't know if you were or you still are, a commander of the SWAT team. Can I ask you, you grew up in Miami-Dade. Can I ask you how that came about? Why you would want to be the commander of SWAT as an African American female? And when did this vision come about in your life?
Well, I have to give credit where credit is due, Doc. So, as Cat Williams would say.
And Cat Williams?
I am tactical because I think tactical. So, okay. And it's all a mindset, tactics. A lot of people think it's got to be the biggest, strongest guy in the room. That's not the case. It's all a mindset. But my ex-husband was in SWAT for about 13 years. So I had done a lot of shooting with him. I had done a lot of training with him, physical training. And just watching him in action just sort of, it piqued my interest. So when he left, I was like, wow, this is my opportunity here. I've built up my resume. I've attained a lot of certifications. So I felt like, hey, why not me? I'm qualified. And I decided to pursue it. And unbeknownst to me, I was a first.
Wow.
I was the first African American female to actually attain that. Sad but true.
So well, yeah, it is sad, but that's all right. Better late than never, When you say he left, I'm not picking at you now. When you say he left the police department, or when you guys broke up and got divorced? Which left was it?
He exited SWAT.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you, my eventual assignment as a SWAT commander brought about a lot of tension that sort of helped him leave completely, if you know what I mean.
Did he have any help? I'm not gonna go down that road.
I don't know what it was, Doc. All I did was become a SWAT commander. What's the big deal?
What's the big deal? I hear you. Some men can't handle strong women. I'm not gonna say strong black women. Just some men can't handle their woman being a strong woman, an independent woman, a woman who can stand on her own 2 feet, think for herself, do for herself, provide for herself. I think that's a great thing. I think that's a phenomenal thing when a woman can take care of herself. Yeah, you want a man to be there and take care of you and support you and protect you and provide for you, but you ought to be able to do it for yourself too, just in case.
Exactly. We complement each other. It doesn't have to be a competition.
Right. So how did you get involved in law enforcement in the first place? Because you didn't just, when you came into law enforcement, you didn't just become a SWAT commander. You were in law enforcement for a while. So what was that journey? What was that thought process? How did you get involved in law enforcement?
2 major incidents. First, 2nd grade, Bethune Elementary, I ran into Officer Friendly. He was the best looking cop I'd ever seen in my life. His fro was so perfect, not a piece of hair out of place. And I literally became school patrol the next day.
Wow.
But the bigger one was we grew up in Brownsville,
Hmm.
and in the center of our projects, there was a playground area where the kids would go and play every day. So my brother was hanging out in the little cul-de-sac area with his friends. They weren't doing anything, tossing around a ball, talking. And who rolls in but Metro-Dade Police? These two white cops get out. Three of the guys, they split. My brother stays, take his head, slam it to the hood of the car, and he's cursing at him, he's going off, and I'm watching this now. I'm traumatized by this incident.
Wow.
And what are you guys doing? And my brother said, man, we didn't do anything. We didn't do anything. Why'd they run? We didn't do anything. He literally slapped my brother across the head and said, get the F out of here. And he kicked him. He kicked him in the butt. I
Wow.
ran into the house crying, and I told my brother, I'm going to tell Dad. He grabbed me. He says, listen, if you tell Dad, he's going to get his gun, go to the police station, and they will kill him. And enough said for me. I never uttered another word. I mean, until I was an adult, I talked about it, but I said to myself, no, I'm going to become a cop one day, and that guy is going to work for me. 18 years later, of course not, but um, I was determined that I would never see anybody else treated like that. And people can't understand why when the police come into our neighborhoods, sometimes we run. That was my reality, was to run. I really didn't care for the police, but then I recognized in order to make a difference, I needed to be a part of that system. So
Hmm.
that's what really pushed me to become a cop.
What is that? Now that you're there, I mean, I didn't intend to go in this direction this early, but now that you brought that up, and that whole incident with white cops, black youth, or black people, black males, when a cop, I see lights behind me. I'm driving, and it hasn't happened in a long time. I haven't gotten a ticket in I don't know when, but the times that has happened when I'm driving and I see lights behind me, I get extremely, extremely nervous. Even as a 61-year-old black male, I really have negative thoughts towards police officers. Not you, but
Right.
towards police officers because of
Yeah.
stories like that, because of indirect experiences with family members. I've seen that kind of stuff happen with my uncle and police. And then also my own experiences with police have been, to a point that they didn't need to get to because I wasn't necessarily doing anything out of order and I wasn't disrespecting or trying to resist the police in that instance, but
Right.
they took it overboard. I know that you're involved. You're the VP, Vice President of Progressive Officers Club, the Progressive Officers Club. And what you do in that, you help to build better police community relations. Talk to us about what it's going to take or what we can do, particularly black males, black females, what we can do to not be anxious when police are around, what we can do to help to better the relationships between police and black people, and what police need to do to better those relationships.
Well, what you can do individually, and I say this even to all of my nephews, um, compliance. First and foremost, compliance.
Right.
You will, I told my nephew this. I said, nephew, you have to live to fight another day. There's a way to fight injustice, there's a way to fight abuse of power, and it starts with you complying. You don't want to give anyone a reason to
Hmm.
step out of line. So that's what you can do individually.
Hmm.
Police, which is why I love Miami-Dade Police. I really do. They invest they invest so much into training police officers about racial profiling,
Hmm.
about you know uh, the community policing aspects of it, getting into different communities, bonding with the people, getting to know them, and also putting in those communities officers who grew up in those areas, who are aware of the day-to-day struggles that some of these youth have to deal with, which is why I'm involved in Paula Tucker's program, For Life, and Golf Instead of Guns.
Golf Instead of Guns, yeah.
Another way to build police-community relations.
Take us through, or put us in the mind of a police. And I did not intend to ask these questions. They're just coming up as we're having this conversation, but this is really good. Open up the mind of a police officer on a daily routine. You know, what is their mindset when they wake up in the morning and they're going out and they have to, you know, be on their detail out in the street, driving the car? What's going through their minds? Are they actually on edge? Are they nervous about what could possibly go down in any given situation or any given day? Or are they pretty calm when it comes to, you know, doing their job and what they might have to face at any given moment?
First of all, I don't think any cop leaves their home and not say to themselves, I want to return home to my family. That's first and foremost. When I would leave the house, my thing was I wanted to come home to my family in one piece, right? And then you get to the job, and yes, there are the day-to-day stressors. Right. You're dealing with a lot. You're running from call to call to call to call. You're hearing people's problems. You're addressing their issues. You're trying to fight crime the best that you can. And a lot of it weighs heavily on you. Don't let anybody tell you that it doesn't. The stuff that I've seen, Irvin, yes, I'm glad that I was able to make it out in one piece. And I'm telling you, I'm writing a book because I see why cops don't live long after retirement.
Wow.
You know,
do you know what the average cop lifespan is after retirement? You know what it is? Really?
5 years. 5 years. I'm telling you, it is not good. And I've lost a number of guys here in the last year, you know, who worked for me, retired 7 years. One retired 5 years ago. We don't last long after retirement. But I will tell you this, and I want to stay on point. Listen, cops, many of them are afraid. They're probably as afraid of you, more afraid of you than you are than them. And that's why I stress compliance, because you need to put them at ease.
Right.
Because they're afraid. They're afraid. I can remember, Irvin, working the midnight shift and going up to a car that I saw speeding away from the scene of a crime. The windows are so dark. You can't see inside. You don't know who's inside. You don't know if they're armed. It is so frightful. So I might be on edge, but that's where training comes into play. That's why I like Miami-Dade Police. They put a lot of hours into training officers. So yeah, it's two sides, man. I always say you got to know what to do when stopped by the police. There's a course out there. The MBPA puts it on, what to do when stopped by the police. Read up on them and share it with your sons.
But listen, I don't care if it's daytime or nighttime. I turn the lights on, I roll the windows down, I put my hands up on the steering wheel, and I stay there. That's what I do. I do all of that. Make sure the lights are on, the windows are down, and I put my hands up on the steering wheel, and I just look forward. When he comes and he asks me whatever he's going to ask me, I'll say, listen, wherever my license is, if he asks me for my license is in my bag over here. I got to go. Can I go in my bag and get my license? Yes. Okay. My license is in my glove compartment, because it's never in my glove compartment. But before I make a move, I ask for permission. So I'm trying to be compliant.
Right.
And yeah, we see movies and things like that, and movies are pretty graphic these days. But we see movies and there's a lot of police officer movies out there and shows and series and things like that. Can you tell us some of the things that you've seen as a police officer? Some of the things that would, that don't seem to, you want to not see it again or not rehearse it in your mind, but things like that, just because they're so extreme, pop up in your mind.
Yeah. I've seen a lot. The worst cases for me have been those that have involved infants, babies. You'd be amazed at the evil and the sexual predators and the things that they can do to the young ones. I won't even share. That's pretty graphic, but I'll tell you what. I remember this incident. Me and my partner, we responded to this call, and the neighbor had said that the son was beating the mom. So we get there, and the mom is sitting in a wheelchair, and the guy is standing there, and he's like, "Oh, the nosy neighbor. She's always calling the cops, you know." And so I just got a bad feeling about it. So Edward Townsend, officer, he came on the scene, and we had the guy go outside with him. And I will never forget it. This lady looked up at me with those blue eyes. She was so old. She grabbed my hand and she said, "He beats me."
Wow.
And she wouldn't let go of my hand. So we immediately contact special victims detectives who come out and they photograph this woman's body. This is his mother, Irv. You would not believe the bruises that she had on her. And he knew exactly where to hit his mom and to beat her so that the hospital gown wouldn't show.
Right.
All because he had a drug problem. He had a drug problem. Let me tell you, I wanted to take out justice right then and there.
I guess you did.
I did. But just the elderly, the youth, those are the cases that really get me.
Right.
I saw firsthand what an AK-47 round would do to somebody's neck.
Wow.
Pit bull had come and just ripped this guy's neck off. This was in a strip club down in Miami. They did a drive-by shooting, and the guy made it as far as the VIP section, dropped dead, pool of blood. It looked, he was this much away from being decapitated.
Wow.
That round was deadly. I've got so many stories.
Do they make AK-47 rounds hollow points? Good gracious, because aren't they kind of pointy? those AK-47 rounds. I used to have an AK-47. Those rounds are pointy.
They do damage.
Wow, that's crazy. Jen Teller's in the house. Ed Crawley's in the house. Scott Teller's in the house. Good to see y'all. If I told y'all you were watching, I knew you were watching, but y'all weren't acknowledging yourselves. But thanks for saying something. Thanks for shouting out. I'm shouting you out. And Ravens Talk with Yolanda. Yes, Ravens Talk with Yolanda. She has a YouTube channel. So Ravens Talk with Yolanda. Yolanda, we got to get it together. Yep, that week that the Eagles play the Ravens, we got to have a conversation on YouTube. Listen, we're going to go to commercial real quick, all right? And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk some more. We're going to stop talking about all this bad stuff. This is sad. I just want people to know you're the real deal. People say that you are a badass woman. What's up with that? We're going to talk about that first before we go to commercial. They said, what makes you a badass? They say you're a badass. What makes you a badass? Did you beat somebody down? Did you what? What'd you do?
You want to know?
Yeah, I want to know.
Well, the number one thing that makes me a badass is courage.
Mm-hmm.
Courage in everything that I have done. Sometimes I've been standing and been the only one standing.
Wow.
Never been afraid to stand alone, to persevere, to wait, but yet keep fighting and chugging along at what I wanted. Just like when I wanted that position as a SWAT commander, I wouldn't go away because I knew I had all that it took to do that job. Why not me? I kept saying, why not me? So, and just the fact that I stand up for people. me tell you, I started rising through the ranks, and I would tell people, look, you're not going to do that kind of stuff on my ship. Not on my watch. You're
Mm-hmm.
not. You're going to treat people with decency, courtesy, respect, and provide excellent service, because that's what we require of our employees in Miami-Dade County. Excellent service, not just excellent, but excellent service.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they say I'm a badass.
So did you have, if you did, what measure did you have of resistance? Did you have any resistance in your climb to that position, to commander of SWAT? What kind of resistance, where did the resistance come from? I mean, obviously we know this, we're in America, we're not stupid. A black African female trying to be a commander in SWAT, there's going to be resistance. Where exactly did you get the resistance from?
Well, quite naturally, it's a male-dominated unit, male-dominated profession. So guys are going to try you. You know, they're going to maybe.
Did you have to whoop somebody behind? Did you have to whoop, did you have to whoop somebody's behind?
No, never had to do that. But I have utilized the pen. I've had to write some people up. I've even had to terminate some people throughout my career. But in SWAT, I can remember this one particular incident where one of my team leaders decided that he was going to take the unit and execute a search warrant on another structure that was on the same property as the structure that was outlined in the search warrant.
Mm-hmm.
I said to him, "What are you doing?" He says, "Well, we got to check this one as well." No, we don't. It wasn't outlined in the search warrant. And he was like, "Well, but we got to." I said, "No, we're not. No, I'm here to protect you and these guys. We will not hit that structure." Oh my gosh, he turned a shade of red I'd never seen before. But again, who's in charge right now?
Hey, badass.
So,
Look, he got
who's in charge right now? So, needless to say, he crawled over to his little corner, and funny enough, the people who lived in that structure came home while the narcotics detectives were doing their job in the other house, and they gave the narcotics detectives consent to search that home. And when we got back, some of the guys came up to me and they said, "LT, thank you. Thank you for putting him in his place." Because that guy would have had us on the news.
Wow. My sister Hope is watching right now. William Lenny Smith Sankofa. Isaiah Andrews is watching right now. That's my nephew. Good to see all of y'all. Listen, we're going to do this commercial real quick. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about Grambling. We're going to talk about your Hall of Fame induction, and we're going to talk about your golf game. She plays golf, y'all. But for now, let's pay these bills. Let's pay these bills. Okay. It didn't go pay the bills. Okay, let's pay the bills. Where we at here? Go. Okay, it's not paying the bills. There it goes. All right, Stolfish Structures. Stolfish Structures is a 49-year-old family business. Stolfish Structures is a storage shed and garage company located in the heart of the Amish country. They ship structures nationwide. You can check them out at mysheds.com. They strive to be the undisputed choice of modular garages, sheds, and outdoor living products in the United States while furthering the kingdom of God. Yes, I love that. Stolfish Structures is known for their fast delivery, great quality, and great client service. So if you're looking for a garage or a shed or any kind of outdoor living product, Stolfish Structures is the way to go. Check them out on Stolfish Structures, at mysheds.com. Also, check this out. Stolfish Structures is having a pre-Labor Day. You got 1 day to go. 1 day left. Pre-Labor Day sale. Yeah, from August 26th to today. Today is the last day. If you purchase $1,000 to $3,000 in merchandise, then you get $150 free options. $3,000 to $6,999. You get $250 of free options. $7,000 to $9,999. $350 in free options, and $10,000 or more, you get $500 in free options. Mention this ad to take advantage of these offers. Stolfish Structures. You can check them out on mysheds.com. We are back with my guest. Back in the house with Captain Elise Dillard. You there?
I'm here.
She's here, yeah. Before we go into golf, before we go into the Hall of Fame, before we go into Grambling, she was a basketball player too, y'all. Before we get into all of that, when you were the commander at SWAT, you were also the tactical operations. You were in charge of the tactical operations section, which means you were over the bomb squad and the K9 squad. Did you ever have to deal, because we see this stuff on TV all the time. Did you ever have to deal with bombs? A bomb?
Well, not me personally. But
So you sent somebody else in there.
My guys were called out several times. During my tenure there, we never had an actual explosive device. Mm-hmm. But definitely the guys had gone out to make the area safe. They've had a number of situations where they've had to recover and retrieve some old explosives that were found behind, and just to make the area safe. We've had a few bomb scares, even at the stadium, and so the bomb guys have to come out.
When the Dolphins are playing bad, they threatened.
Whatever, leave my Dolphins alone, okay?
Well, I love the Dolphins too. I played for the Dolphins. My favorite receiver in the league is Tyreek Hill. I love Tyreek. He's awesome. A little bit, his mouth can clean up a little bit, but I love the way he plays. Listen, the Back It Up Binge podcast said, "Hello, Dr. Fryar, and thank you for your service, Captain. I am the son of a police captain here in New Jersey. Great episode." Yeah. We got some great folk watching right now. Yeah. That's the Back It Up Binge podcast. He's got a baseball player, the Orioles, so I don't know exactly what he does, but it sounds pretty interesting. So you graduated from Grambling.
Yes. Graduate, bachelor's, computer science.
Yeah, you graduated cum laude too. What's up with that?
Yes, I did. I was a scholar athlete.
Wow.
Bibbs wouldn't have us. Coach Bibbs was very much like Coach Rob.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. If you went to school, you were definitely going to get your degree, and they placed high emphasis on academics, not just athletics. So Coach Bibbs was a student of Coach Rob.
Mm-hmm. And you were a basketball player. Were you at Grambling on a basketball scholarship? And when did you start playing basketball? When did that become something that you knew you could do? Or did you play other sports when you were in high school? Did you run track? Did you play, hockey? I don't know what sports they had down there in Miami-Dade, but did you play other sports while you were in high school?
Well, yeah, I did. So I'm the baby of 11, right?
Whoa. I didn't know that.
The baby of 11 with 6 brothers who were all athletic pretty much. But my brother, Kenneth, he played basketball, and pretty much everywhere he went, he had to carry me along with him.
Okay.
So that's how I started playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And in high school, I played softball, basketball, volleyball, was all day in the sport, and ended up getting an opportunity to go to Grambling with two junior college transfers who were both at Miami-Dade College, and also Benice Ford, who was from Miami Killian. So there were four of us from Miami that year who had the opportunity to go to Grambling, and I went on a full scholarship. So I felt blessed. Very
And you
blessed.
won three. You won three SWAC championships.
During my tenure,
Yeah.
we were SWAT champs 3 years in a row. I was team captain 2 years. It was just, listen, I played with a lot of heart. Coach Pat Bibbs tells me that all the time. She says, I wasn't necessarily the best player on the team. I played in the shadows of people like Mary Curry, LaShondra Leday, Big Tasha Hollis,
Mm.
but I was that leader. I was
Mm-hmm.
that leader who could get people, galvanize them to get up and do what we didn't want to do,
Right.
but
Right.
did it through example. When we had to do two-a-days, nobody wanted to do that, but I would get up and put on that face and run those suicides and do it with a smile. And that's one of the things that Coach Bibbs really respected about me, that leadership. And it led us to victory. We were very successful.
Yeah. You were, and you personally were so successful that just this past July, a couple months ago, you were inducted into the Grambling Legends Sports Hall of Fame. I saw a picture of you and Doug Williams together. Doug was, a graduate there. He played there at Grambling. Tell us what that meant to you, and how did that feel standing in front of the audience accepting that award?
Let me tell you, that was I was speechless about it. First of all, to get in as a woman. There have been a lot of male basketball, football players who have gotten in. So the opportunity to get in based on what I had done at the school athletically, what I had done off the court, what I have done in the community, what I have done through my career, and always in as a great representation of Grambling State University. So to have gotten in was such a highlight. And I sat there and I heard my coach's introduction of me, and it brought me to tears.
Wow.
She truly was like a mother figure to me, and she said it, and I felt it where she said she felt like a proud mom. But even more so, to have my Hall of Fame ring presented to me by Doug Williams and the legendary James Shaq Harris
Yeah.
was such a highlight. I cannot tell you. Those two figures right there, to me, they're giants. And to be a part of that, let me tell you.
Well, there's a tremendous amount of history. There's a tremendous amount of tradition. There's a tremendous amount of ability, athletic ability, in terms of people, whether it's basketball, football, that have come out of Grambling. So to be a part of that tradition and that whole history, and to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, that's a whole nother level. Yeah, that's a whole nother level. It really is. At Grambling, there's a whole lot of folk that came out of Grambling that have been great athletes, that did great things in professional sports. They're in the Hall of Fame, and you're right there with them. So congratulations. When I heard that you were being inducted, man, I thought that's phenomenal. That's just awesome. That puts you, that just puts you at a whole nother level. Now, you're not playing basketball anymore now. Oh, let me ask you this before we go to golf, because we're going to end with golf. Talk to us about your daughter. You wanted me to make sure we talked, or I asked you about your daughter. You have one child, your daughter. Talk to us about your daughter. What's so special? Besides she's your daughter, what's so special about your daughter?
My daughter, Specialist Elise Gonzalez, who is currently serving in the United States Army. I am so proud of that girl right there. When I tell you, you think I'm a bad girl? You think I'm a badass? She's a bad. She is walking right in her mom's footsteps. And I just give a shout out to all of those in our military service who are ready and
Mhm.
able and willing to protect this country, to protect all of us, to fight for our freedoms. My hat goes off to all of them. But my daughter, she just has a very special place in my heart,
Nice.
always, man. So I definitely wanted to give that shout out. Specialist Elisa Gonzalez, mommy loves you.
All right, mommy loves you. So you've had a chance to protect some political personalities in your
Oh, yeah.
tenure, in your career.
Yeah.
One of them having been Donald Trump. You were assigned
Yeah.
to protect him when he was the president. So if you were on point, if you were on duty, would that have happened to him? Him getting nicked by that bullet in his ear? Would that have happened?
You
And
went
how does
there.
somebody? I mean, you know the tactics, you know the strategies, you prevent those things from happening. So how does somebody get that close to the president with a gun, with ammunition? How does that happen? Somebody had to mess up.
Wow. And
Yeah.
we hate to Monday morning quarterback other agencies. I can tell you this for certainty would never have happened with Miami-Dade SRT. Not on your life. It would not have happened.
Right.
Um,
And it shouldn't, and it should not have happened, right?
No, no, no. It should not have happened. I
Right.
mean, we have always had a great working relationship with the U.S. Secret Service, with the other municipal agencies, the state agencies, because when the president makes a trip, it takes everybody, all
Everybody.
hands on deck.
Hmm.
So having that great relationship with people, having an elite unit like Miami-Dade SRT leading the dignitary protection portion of it, any law enforcement high-ranking official can come to Miami-Dade and rest assured they will be well protected. So I'm not going to say how that happened. I don't know exactly how that happened. I will tell you this though: it would never have happened.
All right. Listen,
Yeah.
if you want to be protected, go down to Miami-Dade. You want to
Listen,
feel
those guys are a special group of men who they train hard. Um, they work hard every day. I mean, everything from shooting to physical skills. We've got the best equipment, which is something I made sure of when I was there. We had the best. We worked with the best, and that's how we're able to rise up to the occasion when some high-profile personnel come to Miami-Dade County.
Oh, that's awesome. So let's talk about your golf game, because that's where I met you, on the golf course. I met you we were in the eating area before we went to the golf course, but we have that in common. We both love golf, and we've had an opportunity to play golf together a couple of times. The LPGA Amateur Miami Fort Lauderdale. So you're an Ladies Professional Golf Association member right now. When did you start playing golf, and how did you get good that fast?
Listen, November is my anniversary. 6 years I've been playing.
Really? Okay.
So,
Well, that's good,
and
because you play well.
Yeah, I play pretty good, Doc.
You
I
play
play
well
pretty
for
good.
having only played. And some people may think, oh, 6 years, that's a long time. Not playing golf, it's not.
Ooh,
Not if you're
no,
trying
not it.
to go from not playing golf to trying to be decent at playing the golf. 6 years is not a long time, particularly when you're up north, because you only have certain months you can play up north. In wintertime, you can't really get out and play. But yeah, 6 years and playing at the level that you're playing, you've done a great job. Did you take lessons, or did you just figure it out yourself?
So when I started playing, I was just playing. I got involved. It was a fluke. Walter Lewis asked me to play in his golf tournament. I said, man, I don't play golf, I play basketball. That morning, they taught me how to hold the club, look down, just the basics, right? And I hit a good one on hole number 11. Oh my gosh, it was so sweet. And the chase began.
Yep.
So I started playing with a group out of U.S. Southern Command, and we would play on the weekends. So it was 2023. In 2023, I decided I wanted to join the 2022, I joined the LPGA Amateurs.
Mm-hmm.
And 2023, I began competing in different competitions. And that's when I got a golf coach, Paula Tucker. Paula
Mm-hmm.
Tucker took me under her wings, and she taught me so much. And I do think that it's her involvement, which is a reason why I've progressed so well.
Mm-hmm.
And also, when I retired, I was able to put more time into it. Practice. Right. Practice is very, very important in the sport. You can go out and you can play, but if you don't get in practice, you're just playing. You're just playing.
You're just out there to have fun, and that's what I try to tell people too, who play golf. And it's okay if you can't play well, if you don't practice. And when I say practice, I'm talking about not hitting a few balls. You have to put hours of practice in over time to try to get even somewhat consistent, because the game is the most difficult game I've ever played in my life. But if you don't practice, you can't expect to go out and play well at all. You're just playing for fun. You're just playing for fun, but you're not playing for fun. You're playing for blood.
I am playing for blood, and also for a little bit of ching-ching.
Oh, well, yeah, that happens too. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Well, you are a good player. I've seen you out there on the course. I've had a chance to play with you. You can hold your own. You can play on my squad anytime. When I get back down to Florida, I'm gonna give you a shout, and we're gonna play some more.
Definitely, let's do that.
Well, look, you held it down today. You were so nervous about being on the show. You were so nervous about being live, y'all. She was real nervous. I didn't think she was actually going to call in. I thought she's going to try to skip this because she was.
I'm a woman of my word. I am. One thing.
Oh yes, you are.
My word.
I was not worried about that at all. But I kind of thought, like, she keeps asking me, but what we going to talk about? You see how fast that hour went? We talked a whole doggone hour. Yeah, a whole hour. We talked a whole.
More to say.
What else do you want to say? What else do you want to say?
I'm going to save that for my book.
Okay. Do you know the title of your book?
No, but I do know this. The inspiration for the title will come from the words that are written on the page. I have that feeling.
Okay.
It's going to come from the words that are written. So
tell us what your book is about, and tell us when we can look for your book.
So my book will be about my journey. It will be about my journey growing up to becoming a law enforcement officer, some of the things that I've seen, that I've witnessed, that I've had to stand up for, some of the injustices, some of the great things that many in law enforcement do each and every day that you never, ever hear about. And also some of the golf stuff, because golf is life-changing, especially for our youth. I wish I had found this sport earlier in my life. God knows where I would be today. I know I'd be a professional for sure. But there's a lot. There's a lot that's going to go into that book, and it's going to be worth the read. I've just started putting words on paper or in the computer, shall I say.
Tell us about you. I can hear, because you say it frequently, that you're concerned and you give back and you want to impart and pour into the youth. Tell us about GIG, Golf Instead of Guns. Yeah, tell us about GIG, Golf Instead of Guns. Yeah.
GIG is up. The GIG is up. So I told you about professional golfer Paula Pearson Tucker and her organization. She's been a director for years of For Life, empowering the youth through the game of golf. So much of golf, so many things you learn in golf, youth are able to make better decisions.
Right.
They gain confidence. They learn about respect, integrity, all of those core values in golf, transferring them into our youth will help make them better people. But not only that, is introducing them to that game because for so many of us, we feel that the game is so far out of reach. So far out of reach. And seeing is believing. I saw a young man we brought to the golf course. I said to him, come on, we're going. And I go over and I said, what are you doing? And he's playing with the grass, Irving. He said that he thought that the grass on the golf course that he saw on TV was fake. So he saw, he saw that it was real. Irving, to hear a 13-year-old kid who's been gun toting for forever, since at least 9 years old, say to you, the first time I picked up a golf club is the last time I picked up a gun.
Wow.
You know how powerful that is?
That's
because this sport is addictive and it will take your mind off of all of that stuff. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So it's an additional way for me to pour back into these kids. And we've trained officers with Miami-Dade Police. Let me tell you, so much starts with that agency. And we partnered with the Community Police Relations Foundation, CPR. They're going to help us take this program national because it's needed. Too many of our kids think that gun violence is a norm, and that hurts my heart. It shouldn't be.
Yeah, right. Well, listen, if there's anything that I can do, that just blew my mind. The first time I picked up a golf club was the last time I picked up a gun. What? That's just, wow. That's crazy right there. That's awesome. That made my day. That made my day. So listen, if there's anything that I can do, I'm connected with the Miami Dolphins and the players down there. So I'm sure some of them showing up every now and then and participating and teaching the kids and helping with the kids in golf and instruction and teaching them, integrity and all that development, all those kinds of things. Let me know if there's something that you need. All I got to do is make a phone call. And we'll make it happen on that side of it. We'll make it happen. So I would be more than happy to help you out with stories like that. With stories like that, where a kid picks up a golf club and puts down a gun. Come on, yeah.
What you? Thank you. You're the best, man. I really appreciate you. You have no idea. I have so much respect for the man that you are and all that you've endured. You talk about a story. You truly have one.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad to call you my friend.
Yes. And vice versa, vice. You, my captain, Captain Elise Dillard, y'all, is in the house. She's a badass. All right, Elise. Yeah. Show them guns. Listen, thank you for being with us today. I'm going to have some clips made of this and I'll send them to you so you can post them on your Instagram page, along with all that golf stuff you be posting on your Instagram page, all the tournaments you're in with all those ladies. Those are nice, some nice pictures. I follow you and you tell a nice story. It's great. Keep swinging that club, keep hitting that ball, keep your head up, keep doing what you're doing because you're doing a great job, sister. All right.
Thank you
all right.
So much. God bless you.
All right. Look, hand clap for Captain Elise Dillard in the house. Yes, sir. Listen, we'll see you. I'll hit you back. All right. Thank you so much for being with us today. All right. God bless you.
Take care. God bless you too.
All right. That was a great show. Great show. I told you we have great people on this show. We don't just have former athletes, although she is a former athlete, but she's not a former professional athlete. But she was a former SWAT commander, first African American female to be the SWAT commander in the Miami-Dade Police Department. Awesome. That was awesome. Yep. Next Friday is game day, baby, Billy Bell says. Yeah, next Friday is game day. You're right. It is game day. But guess who I'm going to have on next Friday? You'll never guess. Being here in the studio, I know normally the first Friday of every month, which would be next week, we're in we're at the Cigar Code live with a live audience and a live guest. We're not going to do that on the first Friday in September. We're actually going to be live with a live guest and live audience the third Friday in September due to scheduling of our guest, because our guest will be one of the current players for the Eagles. All right, that's why we're doing that, because the first couple of weeks of their schedule kind of messes with Friday a little bit. So we're going to make it easy for them on a normal schedule week to get to the code on a Friday evening at 6 p.m. So that's what we're going to do in September. So next week and the week after, which is the first week in September and the second week in September, first Friday, second Friday, we're going to be live here in the studio still here at 6 p.m. at the Fryar Place. Next week, our guest, I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to say it all week long. Next week, our guest is going to be none other than my former coach, Super Bowl champion coach. Yep, John Gruden. John Gruden's going to be on with us next week. It's going to be off the chain, y'all. Former offensive coordinator here when I played here in Philadelphia under the leadership of Ray Rhodes. John Gruden was the offensive coordinator. Listen, next week, you got to listen, spread the word. All right, spread the word. You cannot miss next week. Next week is going to be off the chain because Coach John Gruden is off the chain. He and I have some great conversations. We have a great relationship. And you talk about a football mind, man. So this will be right before the Eagles game comes on. We'll be here. You know, am I going to be here? You know what? I don't think we're going to be able to do that Friday. We might have to do that Thursday. So listen, just listen for me. I'll let you know when. I'll post it. I'll be putting it up the day that he confirms he's going to be on. We talked about Friday, but you know what? The game is Friday, and I got an appearance right before the game, so we won't be able to do the show next Friday. Get it together, Irving. Okay, but my next guest when I do the next show will be John Gruden, whether it's Thursday next week or Friday of the following week. But it's probably going to be this week coming, probably Thursday this coming. But I'll let you know. You'll see me post it on my Instagram, on my Facebook page. You'll be aware when it's going to be, and I'll let you know way ahead of time so that you can join in. It'll be live. I want you to come on. I want you to make comments. We're going to have a blast. Mama, I see you. John Wade, shout out to you. Billy Bell, shout out to you. Ravens Talk with Yolanda. Yolanda, we got to get together before the Eagles play the Ravens so we can talk on your YouTube channel. All right, Scott Teller in the house. Ed Crawley is in the house. Ed, I will be giving you a call. I know you sent me a text message about Reading. I will call you this week. We'll talk some more. Jen Teller in the house. Isaiah, I see you. Shout out to you. William Lenny Smith Sankofa. Shout out to you too, brother. Hope Wiley, my sister, God bless you. The Back It Up Binge podcast is in the house. The weekend Bob Greasy got inducted in Canton, I had access to a lot of the festivities. I met and had the honor of hanging with Coach Eddie Robinson. Wow. What a spectacular man. Yep, he was a spectacular man. Awesome man. He trained some awesome, or coached, I should say, some awesome athletes. Florence Oakman, all the way out, state of Washington, Billy Bell. Yep, next week is game day, Billy Bell. Next week is game day. Fly, Eagles, fly. Florence is all the way out. Once you're an Eagles fan, you never stop being an Eagles fan. Let me get out of here, y'all. 7:03. Thank you very much for your support today. We had a great show. Shout out again to our guest, Captain Elise Dillard. She's a badass woman. Yep. It was a great talk, great show. We had a great time. Thank you all for your support. Listen, we'll see you next week, same time, same place. I'll let you know if it's going to be on Thursday. Probably Thursday and not Friday because the game is on Friday. But we could have it on Friday, but we won't have it on Friday because I'll be out at an appearance before the game. So we won't do the show next Friday at 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. We might do it on Thursday. We won't do it on Saturday. We might do it on Thursday. And I'll let you know. All right. So be looking out for it. Until then, make sure you're kind to yourself and please be kind to others because you reap what you sow. Y'all, I'll holler at you. See you next week. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.